Hello and welcome back to another thrilling installment of Niche Radio, coming straight into your ears on Fab Radio International. Tune in for more fun stuff, loads of geeky news and all the newest merchandise and comics out this week, and lots more. Hello and welcome back to Niche Radio. We are your hosts, Owen Duncan, and that's right, everybody. It is just me on my lonesome today, holding the fort, trying to remain strong without Connell here. I'll be fine. So what exactly am I going to do without him today? I left the house earlier and my shoelaces came undone and I cried for half an hour. He's in fact off with a bad case of the something funny, and he can't make it in because he's covering his room in spew. So if everybody could please wish Connell a speedy recovery and send him loads of awesome hugs. Or if you want to send him a little message, please get onto Niche Nights on Facebook or at Niche Radio on Twitter, and wish him all the best, because I can't do it alone twice in a row. He's going to have to be back for next week. So also it does leave me the gigantic responsibility of drinking all the beer, which, if it wasn't bad enough that Connell isn't here, now I've got to try and force 3 delicious ales down my throat. So as a sort of form of social experiment, I have in front of me here a bottle of Newcastle Brown Ale. I've also got a Punk IPA from Brewdog and another one. 1 second. And a Thirsty Ferret. So I'm going to open them all and just kind of take a sip out of one each and then see if it makes some sort of chemical reaction in my stomach. So keep tuned in for that. But of course, we're going to have more exciting stuff for you. We have the entire rundown of all the newest merchandise that has come out this week at Forbidden Planet to look forward to. Also, we'll be doing our usual discussion of who would win in a fight between... and also, we'll be doing... we'll talk about lots of the events coming up in Manchester. And lots of the geeky news and things coming out at the moment. One piece of geeky news, there's been Killer Croc cast for the new The Flash TV show. Unfortunately, I cannot pronounce the actor's name, so look that one up, guys. Also, I had some very, very thrilling news that chilled me to the bone. I was reliably informed that Robert Pattinson, the star of Twilight, the vampire-y, sparkly films of joy, will be cast as Negan in Walking Dead, who is meant to be the character meant to be a gun-toting, sweary badass. I then looked at the date it was published, and of course it was published as an April Fool. I hope, sincerely. But yeah, so happy April Fool's Day, everybody. It is April the 1st. For those of you tuning in for our repeat on Saturday, then on Sunday it isn't April the 1st. Don't worry, don't get freaked out. Time is continuing as usual, as far as I know. So, ladies and gents, without further ado, let's have a little bit of all the newest merch out this week.
What's new? What's new? What's new in Forbidden Planet?
And there it is. That is the beautiful voice of Connell asking us what's new in Forbidden Planet. I'll tell you, Connell, and hi Claire as well. Thanks for looking after my special band. So we've got tons of new stuff in this week at the shop. Some of it small, some of it very, very big. So if you've got a pocket full of cash, come down to our geeky stash. Connell. So we've got the new Star-Lord Hot Toys. Any fans of Guardians of the Galaxy out there will know him. It's the Hot Toys, as aforementioned on the show, are the hyper-realistic, beautiful, beautiful action figures made for big kids, basically. So not to be played with too roughly, to be put in a nice glass box and looked at occasionally. So we have the Star-Lord from that. We also have the double pack Captain America with Steve Rogers Hot Toys in. We have the Baby Groot Hot Toys in stock now, which is a little cheaper because he's so small and he's super cute. And he's doing a little dance with his happy face on. So any fans of Groot, Guardians of the Galaxy, come down to the shop soon to at least have a look at these. We've also had some Iron Man ones. We've had some from Iron Man 3. The Heartbreaker suit, the really posh red, white and gold one, which is featured in Iron Man 3. Also, we've had his Iron Man Tony Stark's workshop Hot Toys back in. So anyone completing the Iron Man set, that is in as we speak. Also, we have had the stealth suit Captain America for all those people that like their American icon a little bit ninja-y. That has come into stock now as well. So there's been tons and tons of Hot Toys. We literally, had an absolute buttload this week. So come to the store and at least have a look at them because they're really worth it. They're so good. The amount of time and effort that goes into making each one of these is absolutely incredible. They're pieces of geeky art straight from the film into your lap. They should put me on commission for this. Also, Nintendo minifigures, including a Link from the Legend of Zelda minifigure, which, as everyone knows, is the coolest thing in the world. Legend of Zelda is both boss and rad, and gets a double thumbs up from Niche Radio. Also, as if that wasn't enough, this one's for you, Connell. This is the Doctor Who Wave 4 figures, which include many of the favourite characters, and I'm not going to tell you who because you're going to have to come to visit me in the shop, and then we can have a proper look through. Also, something that has been long awaited. Any fans of Funko Pop out there? Of course there are. Funko Pop is everywhere. It is the little mini collectible bubble-headed chaps that all kind of look the same but oh so different. There is a bevy, a cornucopia, if you will, of these amazing little figures. And I should just pull you up a list now. So the Age of Ultron, upcoming Marvel film, directed by Joss Whedon, of course, and based on the original Avengers graphic novel. We have all the figures from that so far in stock. So if anybody wants to come down and get a little figure of Hawkeye or Captain America or the Vision and many, many more, come into the shop. Also, we've had some comics. Just a handful. No, we've had tons. So we've had Arkham Manor Endgame 1, Batman Eternal 52, Batman and Superman, the second annual, Returning of the Living Deadpool 3, which is a brilliant spoof of all things zombie film in a Deadpool, done in true Deadpool style. And also we have had New Adventures with the Ninth Doctor, issue 1. So anybody who wants some Chris Eccleston in their lives, then this is for you. The Dying and the Dead 2 has come out. Also Star Wars Kanan the Last Padawan, issue 1 is out. And of course these are the new Star Wars comics as launched by in conjunction with Lucasfilms and Marvel, of course, because Disney own them all. Mine is an evil laugh. We've also had Spider-Gwen 3, the Amazing Spider-Man, but not Spider-Man, because it's Gwen Stacy. And then that has been almost it, apart from a couple of my favourites that I feel deserve a mention. The new Angel and Faith comic is out on shelves now, and it was brilliant, but I'll spoil that for you later on. Also, we have had Tooth and Claw in stock, one of my Image publishers' favourites. It is absolutely amazing, lots of fantasy, lots of animals, but anthropomorphized, and a big semi-naked guy that chops up stuff. It's just got everything you want in a comic in one. And so that has continued to be absolutely boss. And then also Jupiter's Legacy, written by written by Mark Millar and illustrated beautifully by Frank Quitely. Although I hold to this day that he can't really draw feet. He's one of these artists, you look at these beautiful comic spreads he does, but the feet are always hidden behind like someone else's head or behind a bit of shrubbery. So those have all come in and they have all been good. If you want anything else, then please come into the shop, ask us anything, get in touch on the Forbidden Planet Manchester website or on their Facebook, and we shall try and answer any and all questions as they go along. But without further ado, how about some competition time?
Competition time. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. competition. Competition time.
It's competition time, ladies and gents. You are listening to Niche Radio on Fab Radio International. I am your host, Owen Duncan, and today we are missing our host, Connell Taylor. So please send him love on Facebook and Twitter, because everybody knows that love heals. Also, in a similar vein, just before we continue with competition time, where you will get a chance to win some awesome stuff, namely comics, toys, all kinds of cool stuff. But first, can you all please join me in song to try and make Connell feel better on this day of puking and grossness. You'll know the song. We've rehearsed this. So could every listener right now please join me in a rousing battle cry of Delamitre's "Roll to Me"? Look around your world, pretty baby. Is it everything you'd hoped it to be? Roll with me. There we go. And as everyone knows, that has restorative properties. That song, sung in exactly that way, with the lyrics exactly right. So that was for you, Connell, especially for you. So competition time. What's it all about? Competitions. When? Now. So anyone who's been looking over the Niche Nights Facebook and our at Niche Radio Twitter, you'll know it all. You'll be well up on this. But we've been doing a comic competition. So every day last month we were giving away a free comic, apart from the days when I forgot to post it on social media, which were numerous, shall we say. So we've got a competition for you right now. Here we go. Fasten your seatbelts. Good. Because whereas before you could win a comic a day, and if that wasn't rad enough, now, for a one-time only, the spare comics that we had left over from that month of free comicdom, I'm going to give them all away in one big bundle to the first person who can get onto our Facebook at Niche Nights and give us the best reason for us to give you those comics. The best and funniest reply to this will be considered for the grand prize of a whole bunch of comics, which can be collected at any niche night. And talking of which, actually no, we'll save that, because we have many cool niche nights coming up in the next few days. But there is a classic at Tiger Lounge this Thursday. So tomorrow, to those of you tuning in live, anyone listening for our repeat on Sunday, then you should come down to Geek Night, because that is going to be that night. So I get confused with time. So if you're listening now, then go to Dinosaurs and Capes at Tiger Lounge tomorrow. But if you're not listening now and you're listening in the future on Sunday, then you should probably go to Geek Night. But if you're listening much in the future, like when we put this on YouTube, then I don't know what's happening. Maybe there's robots. Talking of which, today I saw an interesting article. It was a little video actually on the internet, so it's not really an article. I was just trying to sound highbrow, but failed. What I saw was robot dogs. Kind of robot dogs. They had a body and then they have 4 legs, and they moved a bit like dogs. And yeah, so it was some guy, I assume it was one of those scientists involved in this, kicked one pretty hard, shoved it with his foot, and it regained its balance and didn't fall over. Which, if that's not the early signs of AI, I don't know what is. So there's going to be a robot dog army coming your way anytime soon. If you're listening to this long in the future, all hail our robot dog overlords. May there be metallic canine treats for you for many generations. So that's competition time, apparently. You know what's difficult about doing a solo show, when usually I completely rely on Connell across the way? I'm just staring into darkness. That's what it feels like. Yeah, it means that I don't have a break to stop talking unless I play one of our stings, which is great. However, I need to drink beer a lot faster than this. So far, my bottle of Newcastle Brown Ale that I've started the firstest is only maybe a quarter of the way down, which is a shame. Also, this is a shout out for Connell again. In fact, I dedicate this entire show. No, not just this, all of our shows. No, in fact, all of anyone's shows. I dedicate all of anyone's radio shows ever to Connell. And this one's for Connell as well. Anybody out there who enjoys drinking Newcastle Brown Ale or Nuki Brown, that's a pretty acceptable shortened version. For anyone who likes that, don't go into a bar, no matter how hip or whatever it is, and say, I'll have a bottle of dog, please. Because it annoys every single bartender. Because that first time somebody hears it and goes, oh, what's that? And they go, didn't you know that actually there's a big story, there's a bottle of dog because it's Nuki Brown. They never sound interesting or informed. They just sound like absolute toss bags. So this is radio revenge from both me and Connell, who have laboured in the bar industry for far too long, listening to schneid so-and-sos try and sound intelligent about some stupid nickname that nobody gets. So there you go. So competition time. If you would like to win, either send us some hate mail about Nuki Brown, or suggest a good way to just a little sing-song break. Suggest why you deserve to win the big comic bundle that is left over from our month of comic geekery. So get in touch on Facebook if you would, which is Niche Nights. Type it in and have a gander, because we've got loads and loads of fun stuff coming up, and I've also posted some early little tidbits of the amazing prizes that will be given out at Fab Cafe for the next Geek Night, which is also unfortunately the last ever Geek Night. We can only apologise, but that was competition time. Please enter. The more people enter, the funnier it'll be for me, and then you could be the proud owner of many comics from pretty much every publisher, both old and new comics. We have such a variety. Indeed we do. So, ladies and gents, you are listening to Niche Radio on Fab Radio International. Please stay tuned. We've got tons more for you coming up. But first...
What if Wolverine's bones were made of chocolate?
What if Doctor Who used his powers to evil?
Oh, what if the Simpsons were all topless?
What if Bruce Banner never went to school?
What if... Shut up! Niche Radio tells you what if.
And we do. So what if this week? Every week we do this little section of what if, and it's kind of a homage to the Marvel comics, the what if comics that that theorize. What if, I don't know, Hank Pym had never invented Pym particles, or what if somebody else became the Hulk rather than Bruce Banner? All these kind of things that people always kind of spitball. They'll spitball it around the table at the pub. Talking of which, let's have a swig of beer. Oh, this is quite good. We could do like a drink along with Owen section where I just tell you when to drink and then we get the same level of drunk in theory. Yeah, good idea. So the what if of this week is, I haven't thought of one. I was thinking about it for ages on the tram on the way here, and then I wrote a couple down, but they were bad ideas. And then I tried. Okay, what if robot dogs, which are being developed. If you're only just tuning in, I've watched a video today, so I have conclusive proof that robot dogs that can stand up, move around, walk up all kinds of gradients and steps. I saw that too. And also, if you shove them with your foot, they don't fall over. They regain their balance. So that's what I saw, and it's based upon this idea that robot dogs could be the future. Because humans are killing the planet very quickly. We're running out of resources. We're overpopulated in general. An apocalypse is nigh. I mean, it's just a matter of whenever it pulls its finger out. So I mean, we've already theorised about zombie apocalypses. Everybody has. Everyone's got like a little in the back of their head. They've got a little safe place. They go, right, okay, I'm going to go there. But yeah, so what if it was robot dogs invasion? Because they're very different to zombies. Zombies typically slow, easy to burn or blow up because they're all fleshy and stupid. But robot dogs, they're fast, they're accurate, they're probably malevolent. I reckon by this point, if we're going for a full-on robot dog overlords, these guys will have progressed AI-wise. Not only will they be able to balance if you kick them, they'll probably be able to balance right back into your face and kick you. So ninja robot dogs from the future. That's what we're facing. If anyone's got any theories of how you could either, stay alive from the forever mass-producing and self-replicating robot dogs, how you would be able to escape them, or even better, how you'd be able to defeat them. Now, one theory of mine was loads and loads of robot bones lying around. So, in the hope that robot dogs have similar instincts to that of, animal dogs, the ones we know, love, and have seen in classics like Lassie. And So now, would these robot dogs fall for the same tricks that their canine brothers of flesh and blood have? Could you just trick them with a bone? It could be that simple. That could be a flaw in the programming. Other than that, I've thought of a few other things. Flamethrowers would be difficult because you'd need a very intense heat to melt the metals and the alloys that they're made out of. And I presume that over the years of them self-replicating, they would have upgraded their original plans, so they would be slightly better at withstanding attacks. Because robot dogs, they don't take from nobody, and they're coming at you. So, any ideas? One idea that I had was to hide somewhere really far away from most dogs, like an island. An island would be good. I mean, as a lot of people have said about zombie apocalypses, if you hide on an island, you're okay. But lots of popular fiction over the years has theorised that the zombies don't actually die or drown. They just kind of go underwater for a bit, decay a hell of a lot more. But then, can often either bloat full of air and float to the surface, or they can just walk all the way along the seabed and come up the other side. They're that durable. So if they can do that, then robot dogs bloody well can. I mean, robot dogs are clearly superior to zombies in most ways. I mean, these guys could probably run across the bottom of the sea. Hell, if they're going to keep on self-replicating, eventually they'll have, I don't know, grafted on dog wings, or like a dog rocket booster, or, I don't know, dog planes. I mean, come on. Dog planes. Nothing more terrifying. So this is a serious question now. I mean, it's moved on from our original What If of the Week. I mean, it was meant to be kind of a fun piece, but now this is a cautionary tale. Ladies and gents, please lock your doors. The robot dogs are coming. They're coming for you, especially anyone called Clive. They hate anyone called Clive. Please keep tuned for more updates on robot dogs and Clives. This is turning into War of the Worlds a little bit. Do you reckon this is actually causing social panic, like the H.G. Wells stuff? Probably not, because nobody listens today. Is anybody out there? If anyone's out there, please show some solidarity, say hey, and get in touch on Facebook, which is Niche Nights, or Twitter at Niche Radio. I'll play you a little song in a second, and I shall have a look at my my phone for Facebook and Twitter updates. If you've got any ideas, how to save me from this lonely radio booth, or save me preferably from robot dogs, please get in touch as soon as you possibly can. So until then, that has been the What If of the Week. But next we're going to have an update on all of the amazing events that are happening in Manchester. Geeky events, great and small. But first, here's a jingle.
Three legendary Nights of Niche bring to you events full of fun, gaming, and competitions at Niche Nights.
Fab Radio.
Across the world, the real alternative. FabRadioInternational.com.
Hello, my name is Jessie Rose and you're listening to Niche Radio.
You sure are. This is Niche Radio, and this is the incredible, the Forever Times show of ultimate joy. If you're just tuning in, this is, of course, the incredible Niche Radio. Missing a Connell today, so everybody please send him some love and make him get better now. But until then, you're stuck with yours truly, Owen Duncan, the O-Meister, O-Dog, O-Dizzle. You get the idea. Yeah, and so we're going to tell you about some of the geeky events around Manchester and the Northwest coming at you. And this week is a busy week. If anybody has been to the incredible Tokyo Chips event at Fab Cafe Manchester, that was on the 26th, and it was absolutely incredible. Tons and tons of people showed up. We watched a massive screening of Ghost in the Shell, and then listened to some amazing chiptune artists, the Virus Empire and Oracle. And it was absolutely brilliant. A really fun time. But yeah, coming up, let's look to the future. So if this is Wednesday, and if you're listening to this on Wednesday, which is April Fool's, then you should probably come to Tiger Lounge tomorrow, which is Thursday. Now, Tiger Lounge tomorrow will be Dinosaurs and Capes, one of Niche Night's longest running events. We have tons and tons of fun there. It's essentially a time for loads of friends to get together. We play loads of 90s punk, loads and loads of 90s pop punk, ska, and all the kind of alt rock and punk rock classics. And then we just blend in a little bit of 60s soul, splash a bit of Motown on top, and then drizzle some funk around the edges, all baked together in a large 60s rock and roll crust, and pierced with the knife of free shots. That's the pie of Dinosaurs and Capes, which will be coming at you tomorrow night at Tiger Lounge. It starts at 9 o'clock and it goes on until past all of our bedtimes. But it's always fun and is always guaranteed without a doubt worth the hangover afterwards, because we have so much fun there. There'll be dance-offs, there might be some prizes, but there'll definitely be some kazoos. And that's the main thing. Kazoos is going to be a theme of this show, as well as dedicating this and everything I do with my life to Connell Taylor. Also, I'll dedicate the lack of kazoos today to him. But wait, so is that a good thing? Yeah, it probably is. So I'm dedicating him a lack of kazoos, because today I was going to use kazoos in the show a little bit, but I'll explain that later. There was some bad events happened, and I mean, usually I never leave the house without a kazoo, but unfortunately I'm kazooless today. But we'll make do. But yeah, if you're interested in geeky nights all around Manchester, then Dinosaurs and Capes is on tomorrow and is going to be absolutely awesome. On April the 5th, which is a bank holiday Sunday, there is an event happening at Fab Cafe Manchester of magnificent proportions. It is the legendary Geek Night. Choose your adventure. Now, this Geek Night is unfortunately the last ever that Niche Nights will be doing at Fab Cafe. And it's endorsed by Forbidden Planet Manchester, so there's tons and tons and tons of amazing prizes, many of which I was going through today to try and organise them into different piles. So there's a prize for the first, second and third cosplay winners. So if you want to come dressed up as anything geeky, absolutely anything at all, then you'll be considered by the incredible Lady Noctis cosplayer to win one of these three prizes, consisting of all manner of things, from old comics to new comics, graphic novels. There's also loads of Funko Pops, toys, Predator action figures, there's plushes, there's Angry Bird stuff, there's loads and loads of other gaming, cosplay and sci-fi themed gubbins in there. It is a treasure trove, and I almost got buried in it twice today. So it's worth winning, because it might have some of my DNA on it. Also, we have three prizes for the three winners of the quiz. Now, we do a very geeky quiz at Fab Cafe. It's all themed around sci-fi and gaming and comics and anything that could be vaguely described as geeky. So the quiz, if you are a geek or a nerd or a dweeb, is easy. It's easy peasy. And you could win with some of your friends 3 massive bundles of similar prizes. So lots of Funko Pops are in there, lots of different action figures, and cool bits like that. There is also, as if that wasn't enough, there's also a specific prize, because the night, as chosen by the Geek Night goers, is going to be themed as Marvel Universe. So there is an extra prize, which is 3 Funko Pops, all of Marvel origin, which will remain a mystery for now. But these 3 pops will go to the person in the best Marvel Universe cosplay. So we've got tons of prizes to give away. And if that wasn't enough, we've got loads of free stuff we're just going to give away to anyone that we think looks cool. And if that wasn't enough, then we've also got loads and loads of lucky dips, all for a couple of quid, which are rammed full of loads and loads of cool stuff. Geeky keyrings, wedges of comics. There is in fact one lucky bag in there that has the entire run from number 1 to 10 of the new Magneto series. And there are 10 mixed in amongst the other lucky dips. That there are 10 Funko Pops hiding away in there that you could rummage out. So yeah, it's going to be a good night. But let's not talk about just the prizes, because we did a poll on the event thing that was, what are you most looking forward to? And the thing people are most looking forward to is the cosplays and the outfits. So yeah, tons and tons of cosplayers or fancy dresses or whatever you want to be called. Yeah, tons and tons of people come down dressed as literally everything under the geeky alphabet. So, and the best thing is, after a few beers, they all end up kind of hanging out, getting a bit drunk, and then you'll see a dance-off between like Deadpool and Lumpy Space Princess, and then Princess Zelda will turn up and start body popping with, I don't know, Master Chief. It has been an incredible time putting on these events and seeing so many people from all walks of life enjoying the same cool, badass stuff. Everybody likes to have a nice time. I think that's what it is. I like to have a nice time. So yeah, that is Geek Night, and that is on April the 5th at Fab Cafe Manchester. We've also got loads of stalls there as well. We have stalls from the River Versus, who are the incredible band who have their own creator-owned comic. And between their comic and their album, and they've got a new album coming out at the moment, they have created this entire story and concept, which is absolutely amazing. But you'll have to have a look into them. They've got a stall there. Also, Double Rainbow Designs is coming down again. This is her second jaunt to one of our Geek Nights, and she's incredible. She's the friendliest lady you're likely to meet, and she sells all kinds of geeky jewellery and other bits that she has handcrafted herself. Also, our main chum Ellie is coming down, and she's bringing cake. She is bringing not just any cake. She is the legend behind the original Thor's Hammer Mjolnir cake that we had at one of the first ever Geek Nights. But now she has gone one up, because it is a time for the next Avengers film coming out, and more teasers about Thanos and the Infinity Gems, which are going to be big, very big in the Marvel Universe soon. So she is making an Infinity Gauntlet cake, complete with all the rings. So if you want to see and eat an Infinity Gauntlet cake, come down to Geek Night. We've also got stalls from Art by Janie Cat, and she gave us an amazingly Sharpie toaster of a Mario level last time, which we treasured. And she got tons and tons of awesome bits and bobs that she's done. Most of her art is Sharpie style, and it is incredible, very, very vivid and bright, and it's all hella geeky. And Mr. Picto will be down again, with his portraits and frames with tentacles popping out of them from other dimensions. He's got some incredible, wild, wacky and wonderful artwork on sale. We've also got Busy Beads, a young lad who is coming down bringing loads of bead-made everything, basically. So there's badges, it's all like kind of pixelated art. So there's Space Invaders, there's the bat symbol, and those are the two that spring to mind. But you can check him out on Facebook, and he's come down before, and we were delighted with the amount of cool stuff he brought down. And also Socks and Monsters making a triumphant return. It is Angie with her incredible plushes that are all handmade, and she will be selling them at a super mega discount, especially for us. And also Twisted Dreads, the legend who has done every single one of our Geek Night posters so far, will be down, and he will be mingling and hopefully signing some stuff too, because I want a signed cushion. And then, if that wasn't enough, there's also a Tekken tournament coming at you, like similar to Cleopatra. Yeah, and Tekken tournament, I defy you all. I personally, Owen Duncan, me of Niche Radio, I am going to beat you all on Tekken. And that's what you get for coming. So yeah, please come down to both Dinosaurs and Capes and Geek Night. There is many more of our events coming up soon, but not for a month. So if you want to get down and boogie, these are the 2 nights for you. Hurry up and get down to them, because they're really good, right?
My name is Sally and I like Star Wars, and you're listening to Niche Radio.
See? And also anyone who's interested in the Riververses, this is the frontman, Monsieur Alec. Oh, he's being quiet. Well, he's quite shy. It might start working any second, so hopefully he'll bust in and interrupt me when I'm in the middle of a sentence, similar to this. No, still open. But also, loads of other freshers have enjoyed our stuff.
Hi, my name's Kelsey. I like Adventure Time, and you're listening to Niche Radio.
There we go. These guys are on it. But yeah, so that is going to be the absolute tits. Also, we're going to have Lady Noctis coming down. Lady Noctis is an amazing illustrator and cosplay model. She's done loads and loads of stuff and is massive. Her Facebook and Twitter following and everything else is absolutely massive. It's incredible how much of following she has, and she deserves every bit of it. She's very talented, and she's going to come and judge your cosplays on Geek Night, which I am looking forward to terribly, especially after going through all the prizes and realising what exactly we have. We have tons and tons of stuff I'd forgotten we had. And for every lucky dip, just to go on about this for a second, I was impressed. I was making the lucky dips myself today, and every single one has at least 3 comics. Most of them have 4 to 5 comics, but some of them have between 10 and 20 comics in, because we're that generous. And we'll be giving you loads of updates on that. Keep an eye on the Niche Nights Facebook, please, because I will be posting full announcements and details of all of the prizes for Geek Night this evening.
Hello, this is Ian McElhinney here, Varys and Selmy, The Game of Thrones. Tune into Niche Radio for everything sci-fi, comics, cult television, and gaming. Welcome to the Age of Rat.
And there it is. That is Ian McElhinney of Game of Thrones telling us how rad we are. Thanks. And who's excited about Game of Thrones? Me. I am the most excited. It is going to be absolutely amazing. I've read the books, I've read the graphic novels, and I've watched the TV show, and I've played the computer games, even the really bad one. I'm just that into it. And if anyone doesn't know what's going to happen next, I'm going to tell you it all. No, it's going to be absolutely amazing. And they've been told that although parts of the TV storyline have in fact caught up with how far the published works of George R.R. Martin are at the moment, they are good to go on other bits. So they're going to be writing the book for him, essentially. So you'll be getting details before even smarmy book readers like me go, oh, actually, I've read it all, so I know what's going to happen in the end. You can go, no, I'm watching the telly show, and it is way ahead of those stuffy old books. They'll be like, what? And you'll be like, mm-hmm. And that'll be about it. Yeah, so if you're just tuning in, this is Niche Radio. I am your host, Owen Duncan. Welcome to this. It's our incredible show. My partner in crime isn't here today, sadly, so please send him some love on Facebook and Twitter. Our Facebook is Niche Nights, and our Twitter handle is @Niche Radio. Please get involved, because this is a community for you and for me, but I'm part of the community too, right? So yeah, it's all good. We're all part of this together. And I would like to move on to our next section, which is going to be the quiz. But coming up shortly, we're going to play some little freshest things. No, we're not. We are, but I'm going to press the right button this time.
Hello, I'm Siri, and I'm from Norway, and I cannot speak English under pressure.
That's got to be the best thing we've ever done, I think. Okay, here's one from our legendary mate Graham, who is going to be DJing at Geek Night this coming Sunday.
This is Graham from Game Face. Listen on Sunday nights, 8 till 10, for lots of gaming guff. If you don't, I'll shoot you.
And he's very Mancunian as well, so he probably means it. Yeah, so ladies and gents, if you've just tuned in, you've missed the incredible competition time, and you've missed the what if section. You've missed all the new stuff that's come into Forbidden Planet and lots more, but you have fortunately tuned in just for the right kind of bits, because now is when I start getting a bit drunk and a bit silly. We'll be updating you on more geeky news, all about the newest films and the newest comics out at the moment. We'll be talking more about robot dogs later on, because that's a genuine fear of mine now. And also we'll be doing the incredible quiz. But first, I'm going to mix things up. I am going to mix them the fluff up. Here we go. We've already had what if, but I want to know who would win in a fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the title fight, the greatest moment in superhero versus supervillain history. In the red corner, the almighty, the upstanding pillar of all that is good, and in the blue corner, the devious, the Machiavellian, the dastardly loser of all time. Who would win in a fight? You decide. Ready? Fight!
So, who would win in a fight between the Borg from Star Trek and the Cylons from Battlestar Galactica? But I want to throw in an extra one this time. Both of those versus Galactus from Marvel Universe. Now, Galactus is gigantic. He's very, very big. Bigger than several planets put together, even the really big planets, because he eats planets. So, I mean, the Borg and the Cylons, even if they teamed up, would probably have a bit of a go of it, trying to take him down. So, ladies and gents, please post if you've got any ideas. Who will win? The Borg with their assimilatey, resistance's futile ways, the Cylons with the cool red bleepy thing going across, or Galactus, the World Eater and the Herald of Doom. please get in touch on Facebook and Twitter if you've got any theories. But my theory goes that I reckon the Borg would win. Not because I prefer Star Trek to those other things, because I don't really. The Cylons are absolutely awesome, and Battlestar Galactica is mint. And I prefer the new school Cylons as well, the ones that are all disguisey and infiltratey, because they definitely stand more of a chance, I think. However, the Borg are they're not mindless drones, or at least most of them aren't. They're a kind of collective consciousness that have absorbed other cultures and other integrated other species into their collective of Borgism. So they have the strengths of pretty much every race in most galaxies they've come across. So they're definitely a contender. Whereas the Cylons, you can't really infiltrate that. They're all like, we're going to assimilate you, and then they'd be like, no, don't assimilate us. We could be allies. They're like, well, if we assimilate you, then you are allies. So I don't think there's much bargaining there. However, Galactus would all be like, ho, 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 I will eat you on this planet. I'm not sure why he sounds like Frank Bruno. But you'll have to ask Marvel that, right? Anyway, so he's there eating all the planets and stuff. And he might not even notice that he's munching them, to be honest, because he's got quite an appetite. So I think that possibly Galactus could eat both the Borg and the Cylons without noticing. Discuss. Anyway, this isn't about me. I want to hear your thoughts on it. So please get in touch on Facebook and Twitter, and let me know who would win in a fight between the Borg, the Cylons, and the incredible World Eater Galactus. If anyone's got any more ideas, then please get in touch. Also, on Monday the 13th at Fab Cafe Manchester, there is going to be a Game of Thrones launch party at Fab. Who wants to be involved in that? Me? Definitely. This is breaking news that I've literally just this second, because I read it on a Facebook message, found out about. So Monday the 13th, there's a Game of Thrones launch party at Fab Cafe. So please come along to that. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And there's hopefully going to be a quiz for it. There will be the last episode from the last season played, just to re-jog all our memories and remind us of the epicness that is Game of Thrones. And then they'll be screening the brand new episode at Fab. So please get involved for a bit of that. And hopefully neither the Borg, the Cylons, or Galactus will come down and ruin it for us all. Unless they're Game of Thrones fans too, in which case that'll be fine. Yeah, I probably shouldn't. I should be more inclusive, right? So it's party time.
Niche nights, party time, excellent. Niche Nights on Facebook.
Niche Nights, the home of Geek Nights, Choose Your Adventure, Tokyo Chipped, Dinosaurs and Capes, and 90s Night. May the future be rad.
And somebody just asked me now, for the next Geek Night 7, Choose Your Adventure, can people bring their own board games to play? Well, of course you can, but bear in mind that it will be getting a little bit messier and quite drunken towards the end of the evening, so please take good care of them, because there's nothing worse than having missing bits from a board game so you can't use it. Also, if anyone wants to bring down Cards Against Humanity, we would love to play a bit of that at any time soon. In the meantime, here's one of these.
Niche Nights, the fun place where everyone can come down, cosplay-friendly atmosphere with tons of sci-fi stuff and prizes to be won at Geek Night, Tokyo Chips, Dinosaurs and Capes. Look up Niche Nights on Facebook or Niche Radio on Twitter. May the Force be Bad Wolf.
Geek Night. Geek Night.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Niche Radio on Fab Radio International. Please get in touch with us about everything we've talked about on the show so far today on our Facebook, which is Niche Nights, or our Twitter, which is at Niche Radio. And if you want to listen back to any of our shows, hop on our YouTube channel as well. which is also Niche Nights. Now, if you're just tuning in, you've missed out on all our amazing competitions, updates on the incredible Geek Night coming up, and Dinosaurs and Capes, which is tomorrow. But you have tuned in just in time for our quiz.
Quiz.
Quiz. Quiz. Quiz.
Now, I hope you've got all your pads and papers at the ready. This is a standard quiz. Apart from, I'm going to take a bit of liberties with this. It's not going to be standard questions. There might be a little bit of thinking outside the box. So please get your pads and papers at the ready, because we have 5 questions. Only 5. I'm going to rattle through them, and then at the end we'll play the theme tune again. And then if anyone gets back onto our Facebook and Twitter in time, then you could win a bunch of stuff, or at least get a high five. And if you get all of them right, we'll play the Final Fantasy VII victory theme. So this is a music one, and we'll be doing 5 different songs from out kind of broadly the geeky sphere of music. And so without further ado, question 1. Now, I've got to give you a bit of a rundown on this. So the first theme tune, I'm not going to sing it at you because you'll get it. I'm going to sing it at you with only one note. Okay, so it goes like this. Ba 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 ba. Oh, that's 2 notes. You get the idea. So if anyone can get that, then you are a golden god. This is the hardest quiz I've ever done. So that's one more time. Question 1. What song or what film is this from? Without any notes. Ba 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 ba. That's all I'm going to give you. Question 2, quickly. Now, this is why I wanted a kazoo for this show. This is the only reason. So instead, you're going to have to guess this TV theme tune with me pretending to play kazoo on it, which goes a bit like this. So, and again, question 2, as if I'm playing kazoo, what theme tune is this? Yeah. And question 3, this one is very recognisable theme tune. So for question 3, I'll sing it, kind of, but I'm just going to replace all the tune with the word Chibli. If any of you aren't familiar with this, it can be pronounced Chibli, Chibli, or Chibli. So this is question 3. What theme tune is this? Whilst I'm saying Chibli. Chib chibli 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 the chibli 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 the chibli 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 the chibli 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 chibli. You get the idea. So that's question 3. What theme tune was that? Question 4. This is a classic. Not strictly sci-fi, but definitely a theme tune. This one I've kind of run out of ideas, so I'm going to do this one inward singing. If anyone was ever a fan of of Tenacious D's first album, you'll understand a little bit about inward singing. It's a bit like this. It's a lot like that, actually. So, neighbours. Yeah, that was difficult. That's all you get, though. I can't do that again. So that's question 4. Which theme tune was that? I did kind of say the name in it, but you have to keep on trying with that. And also, number 5, the last one of this. We'll have a quick break before I come back to it. But we've had questions 1 through 4 so far.
3 legendary nights of Niche bring to you events full of fun, gaming, and competitions at Niche Nights. 3 legendary nights of Niche bring to you events full of fun, gaming, and competitions at Niche Nights.
This is Fab Radio International. Across the world, the real alternative. FabRadioInternational.com.
Hello, and we're back, and thank you all very much for enduring the A-Team theme tune twice at the same time. That was pretty Inception. That was, of course, played a few things there, just showcasing the talent of Connell Taylor and the producer of Fab Radio International, who I've just been having a chat with. That's why I kind of went off for a second then. So let's continue this quiz. So we've had question 1, 2, 3, and 4. Question 5. Now this is the clincher, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to use my what's the word? Brain. That's it. A bit for this one. So it might not come out quite how I want. But there's a few clues. It's a theme tune. It's a classic 90s theme tune. And just to disguise it a little bit, because it's very easily recognisable, I'm going to be playing it on the armpit farts while singing it in a very, very bad Scottish accent. So here goes. Question 5. In West Philadelphia, born and raised, the playground was where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, and all shooting some b-ball up beside the school. That's what you get. That was question 5. I can't do this. This is question 5 for the Nation Radio quiz. Now, we'll play you a quick theme and then we'll go through the answers straight afterwards. So make sure they're all written down. And if you want to post them on Facebook or Twitter at Niche Radio, then we will give you lots of kudos for getting any of those right, because that was a hard quiz, let's face it.
Hello, my name is Jessie Rose and you're listening to Niche Radio.
Don't be alarmed. It's only a laser sword fight. Don't be scared. It's only the Death Star destroying another world. Relax. It's only a movie, and it's all for fun. Director George Lucas and 20th Century Fox present Star Wars. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
So now it's time for the incredible quiz answers. Now, question 1 was the one where I was singing it with no notes. Well, I was only using one note, kind of cheating. And that was, of course, Star Wars, if you get an extra point for the Imperial March. Question 2, where I was doing pretend kazoo with my mouth, was Bucky O'Hare. Question 3, where I was singing the entire tune while saying the word Chibly, Chibbly. That one was, of course, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And number 4, which is a bit of a tricky one, a bit out of place in the others, which I was inward singing, or attempting to anyway. That was, in fact, The Neighbours theme tune, obviously. And number 5, the unmistakable, sung in a bad Scottish accent with accompanying armpit farts, was The Prince of Bel-Air, featuring Will Smith. Well, not that version. That he wasn't really involved in that moment of Radio Gold. So, ladies and gents, it's almost time for us to say farewell. So let's have a quick rundown of some random news before we go. So, did you know that Nathan Fillion really likes Walking Dead and has written an impassioned letter, love letter as he puts it, to the showrunner and director of Walking Dead, saying that it's boss, basically, saying he really likes it and he'd like to pat everybody there on the back, but he hasn't got enough time to. Also saying that he has Walking Dead nights where he gets his friends round and they eat zombie-flavoured dips. Well, snacks, but not just dips. Yeah. Also, in other news, in our spoiler alert section, which is brief, I'm just going to spoil the Angel and Faith comics for you now. Now, Fred came back. Winifred Burkle, from popular in the Angel series, has come back on the scene and has kept the evil Illyria goddess at bay. Until now, Illyria is back all blue-haired and goth-looking, which means that now, interestingly, the Dark Horse run of Angel and Faith is using parts from, you could argue, their rival publisher, IDW, their run. So they're making that into canon. Also, Mad Max Fury Road has a new trailer out, which looks crazy and very deserty. And it looks like it's going to be an epic watch. Also, Mortal Kombat X, there have been lists of all of the fatalities posted as a YouTube video, all in 1080. Very, very brutal, basically. Anyone who was playing the old Mortal Kombat games back in the day probably yeah, I remember playing the Mortal Kombat games back in the day and seeing the fatalities and how brutal it was, and thinking, oh yeah, but it's just a computer game. You couldn't mistake that with real life because it's so pixelated and the graphics are so bad. But now, watching the newest one, I'm like, well, yeah, this guy is actually turning that person's torso to ice, pulling out their heart, and then drinking the blood from it after giving it a squeeze. It's very, very hyper violent. It is the most violent thing I've ever seen, and I want to play it. There was one, in fact, involving a blood bubble, chewing gum, and it was hilariously gross. What other news we got? Robot dogs may be our new overlords in the next 10 years, says David Cameron. New in FP, we have a range of hot toys, Funko Pops, and other new comics, so please come in and have a look. Who are winning a fight? You're deciding between Borg, or the Cylons, or Galactus. I say Borg. And then that's pretty much it for our rundown of stuff. Oh, Kevin Smith, though, he's a busy bee, isn't he? He's putting out 2 sequels to his very popular Clarks and Mallrats series. So it's going to be Clarks 3 coming out and Mallrats 2. Also, just released has been a Kevin Smith DC Omnibus featuring all of his work on Green Arrow, including the Quiver story arc, which I'm very, very keen to read, as it's been out of print for some time now, and I really would like to get a look at it. So now I can. And you can pop into Forbidden Planet for that, the Kevin Smith DC Omnibus with Green Arrow. But yeah, Clarks 3 and Mallrats 2 look like they're almost ready to go. They've got nearly all of the main cast. Certainly in Mallrats 2 they've got the kind of predominantly main cast, and they've only a few more people to get. But if you want any updates on that, just go like Kevin Smith on all social media, because he's all over it all the time. So that is unfortunately the end of our show for now. But we can't just leave you like that. We're going to put on some lovely FSN news for you very shortly, but as you may have noticed, it's always full of doom and gloom on there. There's deaths and there's explosions, wars, occasionally plagues. So we're going to do away with that. We'll let you listen to it in a bit, but first we'll give you a bit of good news. So my good news is I've almost finished my bottle of Newcastle Brown Ale, and it's been quite tasty. And I've enjoyed chatting to you guys today, and I hope to see you all next week at 6 on Fab Radio International. What's your good news, Connell? I miss Connell.